Good morning, my students. Today we have the lecture about the dermatophytes. The dermatophytes is one of the superficial fungal infection the human beings. These dermatophytes are belong to the mycosis, which is infect the upper layer of the skin. In addition to these types of the fungal species are belong to three genus and 40 species. Okay, so this type or this group of mycosis having three genus and 40 species. These genus are the epidermophyton, trichophyton, and macrosporium. So the superficial mycosis caused by different fungi is restricted to the outermost layers of the skin and hair. The condition usually causes cosmetic problem which can be easily diagnosed and treated. It includes four important conditions: psoriasis versicolor, tinea nigra, black pedra, and white pedra. Psoriasis versicolor or tinea versicolor is a superficial infection of the skin caused by Malassezia furfur. This type of the fungal infection belong to the yeast. Okay, it is not mold as dermatophytes which infect and cause tinea. Okay, this type, psoriasis versicolor, tinea pedra, tinea nigra, belong to the yeast subdivision of the fungal species. So, Malassezia furfur or Petrosporium orbicula, and we have also other species. Malassezia furfur requires fatty acids for growth, hence is cultured on the tuberose dextrose agar, overlaid with a layer of olive oil. On incubation at 37 degrees Celsius, the fungus produces creamy colonies within 5 to 7 days. The fungus is found in part of the body rich in sebaceous glands. Means where there is a seborrheic area, it will be ready for infection by psoriasis versicolor. يعني الطبقة الدهنية. The lesions of psoriasis versicolor are found most commonly on the upper tissue, arms, and abdomen. Laboratory diagnosis of the condition is usually made by demonstration of both budding yeast cell and hyphae and KOH preparation of skin scrapings. Characteristic: spaghetti and meatballs. It looks like the plate with spaghetti and having meatballs. Okay, it's a meat in the structure of the balls. Appearance of fungus is demonstrated in the microscope of KAH preparation of the skin. Culture is not carried out routinely for diagnosis. Topical metronidazole is a treatment of the choice. Tinea nigra, the second type of the nigra, is an infection of keratinized layer of skin caused by Exophilia rhynchi or Cladosporium rhynchi. Cladosporium rhynchi is a dimorphic fungus that produces melanin. The fungus on the SDA grows as yeast with many cells in various stages of cell division, producing typical two-celled oval structure. On primary isolation from clinical specimen, on prolonged incubation, elongated hyphae develop, and in older cultures, mycelia and conidia are predominantly found. A well demarcated brown black macular lesions. This is the culture diagnosis or the culture characteristic of the rhynchi in the plate. Okay, looks like a brown black macular lesions, which appears as a brownish spot of the skin. In the skin, it looks like what? A brownish spot. نقط جوزي. A typical manifestation of the condition. These brownish to black lesions are most commonly seen on palms and soles. Laboratory diagnosis of tinea nigra is made by microscopy of the KOH preparation of skin scrapings collected from the affected part. Typical darkly pigmented yeast-like cells and hyperfragmented hyphae are demonstrated. Culture of the skin scrapings and the SDA confirms the diagnosis. So the confirmatory test for the diagnosis is by culturing on the separized extras agar. Black Pedra is a superficial infection. It is the third type of superficial infection of the hair caused by Pedraria horti and Dematicious fungus. Dematicious fungus means the fungus that leaving a pigment on the skin. يعني اللي تصبغ السكن تكون بيها أصباغ يعني والأصباغ اللي تتركها على يعني كأثار جانبية. Culture of specimens on SDA shows the slow growing brown to reddish black mycelium, which is considered asexual or anamorphic stage of the fungus. Infection of shaft of hairs of beard and scalp is the major clinical feature of a black beard. Laboratory diagnosis of this condition is made by demonstration of nodules containing asci with spindle-shaped ascospores in 10% KOH amount of the hair. يعني شلون نميزها؟ اكو نوديولز أساي هي مجموعة أسقس اللي مثل التكيسات الصغيرة with spindle shaped ascospores أشكالها spindle shaped يعني مغزلية. White Pedra is an infection of the hair caused by yeast-like organism Trichosporon bigili. The fungus can be grown on SDA and other media containing cyclohexamide. On SDA, it forms green-colored colonies, which subsequently become yellowish-gray and wrinkled. Microscopic examination of the colony shows septate hyphae that break rapidly to form erythroconidia. Laboratory diagnosis of the condition is made by demonstration of the of fragmented hyphae that develop into arthroconidia or produce plastoconidia in 10% KOH amount of hair. Culture of the fungus from clinical specimen confirms the diagnosis. Features of the organisms causing superficial mycosis are summarized in Table 4.4 and Table 4.3. Features of the organism causing superficial mycosis. Cutaneous mycosis, dermatophytosis, or cutaneous mycosis are diseases of the skin, hair, and nail. But by which type of fungal species? By most types. These infections are caused by homogeneous group of closely related fungi known as dermatophytes. These dermatophytes infect only superficial keratinized structures such as skin, hair, and nail, but not deeper tissues. Okay? Dermatophyte species cannot grow or disseminate within the blood vessels or skin. We have cutaneous and subcutaneous. Under the subcutaneous layer, it cannot be penetrated by this type of fungal species. Dermatophytes, the most important that cause infection in humans, are classified into the following three genera. As we said before, Trichophyton, Macrosporidium, and Erythemophyton. And each one is infect specific location in human beings. The dermatophytes are the basis of their natural habitats and host preferences can be classified in the following groups. Zoophilic species. Zoophilic species, these are dermatophytes that live on animals and often cause infection in their animal host. These zoophilic species are transmitted from infected animals to humans by direct and indirect contact with domestic animals. So, infection by this type is come from the animal. Okay, the human will be infected by zoophilic species by their contact with animals. E.g. cat, dog, okay, and occasionally wild animals. Examples are Trichophyton violacum, Microsporium canis, and three we have geophilic species. These are saprophytic fungi found in soil or in dead organic substances. They occasionally cause infection in humans and animals. Examples are Microsporium gypsum, Trichophyton agiloi. Dermatophytes usually grow only on keratinized skin and do not penetrate the living tissue. Just we have one note that we have the first type of the groups is anthropophilic. Anthropophilic, which is come from or resulted from the infection from human to human. Okay, this slide is beginning with the second type, zoophilic. Laboratory diagnosis is based on the demonstration of fungal elements in a clinical specimen by microscopy and confirmation by culture. The specimens include skin scrapings and nail clippings or hairs taken from the areas suspected to be infected by dermatophytes. These entire specimens are treated with the alkali solution to clear epithelial cells and other debris. Direct microscopy is useful only for diagnosis, while culture is always carried out to identify the specific causative fungal agent. Direct microscopic examination of 5% direct KOH amount may show fungal hyphae. Three types of hair infections can be demonstrated. We have of microscopy. So for the hair, we will put 10% KOH, but when we diagnose nails, we put 40% KOH. Ectothrix, endothrix, and mesothrix. So the first one, ectothrix infection, is characterized by presence of layer of erythrospores on the surface of hair shaft. It is caused by the Macrosporium odoni, Macrosporium canis, and Trichophyton meteorophytes. Endothrix, the clusters of erythrospores are found entirely within the hair shaft in endothrix infection. It caused by Trichophyton tonsillensis, Trichophyton violaceum, and Trichophyton sconilini. We have the last slide, which is involved the culture. The clinical specimens are cultured by inoculation on LCA containing antibiotics like cyclohexamide. The media after inoculation are incubated at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius for 3 weeks at 25 degrees Celsius. Most of the pathogenic fungi grow well, while saprophytic fungi and bacteria are inhibited. The cultures are examined at regular intervals, and dermatophytes are identified based on A. Colony morphology, B. Pigment production, and C. presence of macroconidia and macroconidia يعني المايكرو الصغيرة والماكرو الكبيرة. And thank you very much for your patience. وأتمنى إن شاء الله أن تكونوا فهمتوا الدرس.